I'm going to have to get up middle of the episode and let the cat out.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a terminology.
Oh.
I'm just have to let a cat out of the office. Yeah.
I'll say I'll let my dog in. You know what I'm saying? To get this thing going. That's a good time to eat.
Yeah.
Too.
So
right before. Do you like seafood? Nah. That was a hit for a while. The old seafood joke. Do kids even do that anymore?
It's good.
Like seafood and then completely show your chewed food.
Somebody's seen that on TikTok, so I doubt they do.
No? Could we start a TikTok trend with seafood?
Yeah. Just act like you're doing something else and all of a sudden go like, get it? And then it just mentioned the word seafood and then just go seafood.
Yeah, let's get on it. I mean, if it's anything like our podcast, it's going to catch on really quickly.
No.
Yeah, I love it. We're catching the set. This is a little behind the scenes. What is that, a Dyson fan?
It's called a Dreo. But it's nice and it's cooling down my back because it's very hot in New Jersey right now.
Yeah, it's warm everywhere. Happy Labor Day.
Well, it's especially it's 88 degrees in New Jersey right now at 8:05 post meridian.
Yeah, so it's Labor Day. Hello, Strange Fam. Pre-title song. We just finished the fantasy football draft. That's why it seems like we're so fresh.
Yep.
And we're just so lively. We're like really
got that podcast. Everything is going. Really running seamless really right now.
Smooth. We got a vibe going right now.
I am focused.
Mm-hmm. It sounded like a great idea last week.
I can't figure out. It did.
Let's just roll right into the pod. Yeah. But sometimes even when let's go. Let's just go.
Everything's good. Don't confuse my priorities. Isn't it supposed to come to me? Yes, this is how it's meant to be. Every little thing flashing on a screen.
Yeah, we just had one of our fantasy league mates, Bob, who's a regular listener, also downloader, hopefully a 5-star reviewer. It's like, hey, your last intro last week was really good. We're like, yeah, well, I bet we'll do it again. We'll really nail it. we sure did something.
If off the cuff intros are really good, then there's 2 ways to ensure success in the future. Redo that same intro over and over, but this time we've practiced it. So if it's good when it's impromptu, it can only become great the more you do it. So we got to stop not just redoing stuff that works, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what 2023, like that's what TV and movies have become anyway, right?
Yeah, let's reboot the first episode.
Sequels. Okay.
Let's do next episode. It's just a reboot of number 1. Nobody will know. And I know the audio quality wasn't great, so we'll just go at it again. We'll start with, hey, this is Strangely Familiar. Hey, I might even do that right now. Hey, this is Strangely Familiar. It's a show about 2 people who used to be friends a long time ago. And 33 weeks in a row.
I'm Jeff.
A conversation.
Oh,
I'm Matt. Yeah. Hey, we're nailing it. Sorry. I was going to try to read off the script, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Wow. It's palpable, the professionalism. The enthusiasm.
It's top notch. As you can see, we've grown really into this role. We used to sound like amateurs, but we are professionals now. So I can only imagine what we're going to be like in 32 episodes.
Yeah, I don't want to bore anybody with too many fantasy football details because nobody really likes a podcast about fantasy football. I want to know, because this is what's interesting to me, is so we've been doing it for 15 years. I don't know what year it is. But you do, because you are the commissioner of this
14.
fantasy football league. Yeah. So I'd like to know. So we've said before, this is basically the only relationship we've had is through like we'd have this draft every year, so we'd either chat, most of the chat, but now we do a video thing. But you have to like manage this whole shit show of people that are really uncooperative and insultingly so. Where you have to make announcements, keep track of like numbers and math and dues, and I don't know why do you do it. I've never
I
understood
don't
why you do it.
know.
Why do you do this?
I don't know because there's plenty of other leagues out there that I could just join
Yeah, you
and
could just
not
play.
have to do that stuff
Yeah.
and still play fantasy football. That's a big reason why I don't. I used to try to be, because I'm a people pleaser. Remember, we used to ask 12 people, hey, when can you make this 2 hour long draft? Pick a day, pick an hour, and I used to send out a spreadsheet, like a vote online, and people would still get mad. And then it was like, well, I could make that time, but I don't want to make that time. And so it was all that. And then I go, wait a minute. I know how to fix all of this. And I do another diplomatic thing, and that would go to shit. But then I go, hold on. The key to it is don't give people an option. Fuck everyone's preferences and just declare what things are. And guess what? People grumble.
A bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
And it does, because people grumble, but everyone is way too lazy to put up that much of a fight. So literally I just make decisions now and just tell people what the updated information is.
Well, it's
Don't
true.
worry though. A lot of them don't. Some of them aren't reading those emails. They
nobody,
remember an email.
Yeah, nobody wants to do it. It's like I would have. I mean, especially like just even keeping track. I can think of like 14 years ago, especially now the dues are. We have to pay. We're each paying $100 into this league. It's due in December. But I could think of like I could have fucked that up a long time ago. I feel like whatever, just being like, oh, I got all this money just sitting in an account now. Yeah, let me just use some of it now. And then the league's done for the year. And it's like, hey, winners, you'll get your money in April. Sorry, I accidentally I booked myself a trip using your money. Like, I definitely would.
No, it wouldn't even be that good.
Yeah,
it wouldn't even be that good.
Yeah.
It was. I was on a trip, and listen. I played my last $1,000 on blackjack, but the dealer had a 6 showing, and I had 20, and so I had, and I had 11, so I had to double down. So I used the league dues to double down, and that son of a bitch hit a 5.
So here's the fun thing, fun wrinkle. Next year, the league dues are doubled, but the prize is still going to be the same.
What? Whoa! How fun would that be? Yeah. So that's why I invested in the championship belt and took the money out of the dues, because no, we're upgrading, and whether or not you want to upgrade, that's not up to everyone else.
I would say I'd rather have the championship belt than money, in a way.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
I mean, the money's nice,
and the money's fine. It's good, and people still win money. Like, don't get me wrong, you're just going to win a little bit less money this year, but the important thing is I want to see someone who gets in such a pinch that somehow they pawn our championship belt. I actually kind of want that to happen.
Shit.
Like, I want someone to
melt the gold,
the championship, win it, and then sell it to a pawn shop. But the one catch is they have to tell me where the pawn shop is so I can go into the pawn shop and buy it back. Yeah. No, I won't pay them to give it to me. I want to buy it from the pawn shop.
You know what I was thinking about today with football? I do a really good job of putting things out of my mind that I try to forget, and then they always come back. They don't stay away.
Okay.
They just remind me at the weirdest time. So I was thinking about football, and I was thinking about one of the cringiest date moments I've ever had in the early 2010s. So this was shortly after my Texas girlfriend broke up with me, and I was kind of like meeting new people, making new friends, that kind of thing. I met a girl at a bar that I would frequent. Her name was Bethany. She was cute, and we just hit it off. And she told me her grandfather was Bob McNair, I think his name was. He was the owner of the Houston Texans.
Okay.
So she like had a box there.
Wow.
Yeah, and all that shit. And I was, I was like well, hey, do you want to go out, like go to a hockey game or something sometime? Like, that's my sport. She's like, yeah. And I was like, fuck yeah. And so, I don't think we went right away, but then I saw her again. Um, and I was like, hey, that game, do you still want to go? And then she's like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, okay. Well, here's the thing. Um, can you drive? Because I don't have a car. it was, it was like
Matt,
it was the fucking worst thing.
why did you go to a hockey? Why did you?
Man, you are one pathetic
I gotta give
loser.
that to myself.
Why did you suggest a hockey
was just
game
in
when
the
you couldn't
discussion.
even make it to when you couldn't bring it to fruition? Yeah, but it wasn't
No,
because
you're
then
right.
you said you circled back to it.
Yeah.
You doubled down.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know how, I was like 20, 28. I was vulnerable. I was stupid. My ex-girlfriend had the car. I was just like, and I think if I would have said it earlier, it's like, yeah, I can't, I could have been like early on. I could have been like, well, yeah, I'd love to go. Yeah, I don't drive right now. I don't have the car. I lost it. I could have owned up to it, but instead I had this whole thing lined up,
Have
and then
you
I was
ne-
like, hey, then can you
Have
drive?
you never? Have you never watched Half Baked, where Dave Chappelle has to take that girl out for like $6,
That's right.
and like it goes through the whole rigmarole
Yeah.
of being like a cab. Oh, why don't we just hoof it? Like, why don't we just walk? Oh, it is nice for a walk. Yeah.
Because it was pre-Uber
on,
too, and
man.
all that. So it'd been like, no, we'll take an Uber so we can have drinks and stuff like that. And it was like, nope. Hey, do you want to babysit me at a hockey game? Basically, I'll
So
pay for
wait,
the
what
$6
happened?
tickets.
How did she
it was-
react?
yeah, no. I mean, we still went on the date, but the look when I asked that, it was over. Like right away, I could tell. Like it was immediately like just dried her up. It was done. It was nothing. No hope. I could just
but
see
also,
in her
why
face.
didn't you just like? Why didn't you just make something up?
Well,
Why did you have just this sweeping need to go like, can you drive? I have no car. Like, why didn't you make up like why you couldn't?
Because I'm bad at that. I'm bad at like dates and hitting on girls.
You
and...
just told our audience that you made a career out of lying to people on airplanes about elaborate life stories, and you couldn't come up with a reason why you couldn't operate a vehicle for one night. What is your deal?
I'm really good at being either too honest or completely lying, but I can't strike up a balance in between. There's nothing. It's not like, oh, it's in the shop or yeah, nothing like that. It's like, I am pathetic and have no car. I need you. Yeah. I need you to come over and pick out my outfit. Yeah.
There's no happy medium. Can you wipe my bum? But the good news is that I am one of the 6 richest kings of Europe.
Yeah. And can you pick me up and hey, why don't you do yourself a favor and pick up some condoms on the way over? We're gonna need those.
Yeah, you absolutely should have gone with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I left my wallet at home. Should have went the whole way with it. Just like full on sandbagged it. Yeah. Hey,
you should have.
You come from money, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah. And it was just like really awkward the whole time of like awkward contact, like sort of like hand on the back. Like it was just like, I had my confidence was zilch. It was like, there's nothing worse than like a date that you go on that you have zero confidence because it's so painful. Like if that would have been filmed, it would have been, I blew my chance for playing for the Texans for sure in that moment.
Yeah.
I was never going to be a ball boy.
Yeah. Matt's life story is going to be like that. Jimmy Fallon's going to star in it. It's just going to be like, oh, this is, or maybe Paul Rudd. awkward comedy.
I can't believe you did that. Yeah.
That's Jimmy Fallon in a nutshell. Yeah.
He's a good guy. It. But he gets bitches.
Know him well. He do. But
you got to match that. Please have something.
Why he couldn't drive. I do not have.
You have something like that? No.
That's pretty good.
What's the worst? Or have you ever gotten a rejection? Like I can think of another pretty strong rejection I've gotten where I saw the signals and they were not there.
Ooh.
I remember in Austin there was a girl who was like just out of nowhere like slid into the DMs. And I was like, oh, I don't, like we've seen each other at different like shows and stuff like that and gigs. And we were like sort of friendly. And then one day she's like, "Hey, she texted me something about like my work or whatever. She's like, "Hey, if you because she worked at a brewery, and she's like, and it's like she has no really reason to contact me because she wouldn't be involved in this transaction at all. So I was like, oh, she's just trying to initiate a conversation here. I was like, nice, yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, totally. Thanks for the info. And just well, what are you doing like this week? And she's like, no, it was just I just wanted to text you about the beer stuff. So I think we should just be friends. And I was like, dope, yeah. It's like I love just
Whoa!
reading into it.
She like fast forwarded
Yeah,
to
she's
it, like just.
It's good. No, we
You
should
have
be
been
friends.
given
We
an
should be
impression
friends.
that
Yeah,
this is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
love
no,
friends.
definitely, because we're definitely not really friends, but we should stay being friends. Let's do that. Yeah,
Right,
let's
yeah.
keep this
we
up.
should just be friends.
Yeah.
I didn't even think we were that. That's
Yeah,
not
we're
the
not
basis
even
of
that.
what we
Cool.
have.
Yeah, let's keep what we got going. It's a good thing. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that it would have been way better if she was
Yeah.
like, "I don't want to ruin what we have." What the hell
Yeah.
do we have?
Yeah, seeing each other every like few weeks randomly and just saying hello. No, it's good. We don't want to ruin that for sure. It's real nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think back in the day, that was more likely the thing was probably a couple times of like wanting to date and like be rejected by a friend more so than a person I've gone on a date with. So like that's been a complex situation. And that one's even tougher because you really don't know what to do. Like you're like, so is everything not awkward? Because like probably the realistic aspect is yeah, it doesn't have to be awkward. It's simply an exchange of that. But I certainly have no idea how to handle that. And certainly in my like early 20s or anything like that, I had no idea how to handle that situation. So yeah, I mean, I didn't grow up Johnny Confidence either. But I hit under my humor. So don't have to be confident. You can just be funny.
Just these cringe moments.
People think humor is confidence, and it's not. It is very, very not. Those are not the same thing.
This was bad too. Oh, this is gonna hurt me telling this story. This is this is like I would call him the vulnerable. It's like kind of the Civil War had reconstruction after that. This was my reconstruction after my girlfriend that I moved to Texas for broke up with me, and I just had a lot of tough years trying to reconstruct this foundation that was just burned down. But then there was a girl I met at the same bar, and she would like massive stoner, but she used to like come out and hang out at my place, and we would hang out. And finally, like I just made a move. We just made out. It was fun, and I was like, okay, this is going somewhere. And the next time I saw her, I was like, I don't know if I want to do that again. So, we hung out, and I didn't make a move, and I walked her out, and then I just at the door, I was like, hey, just I'm just really sorry I just made out with you the other day. I was a little forward of me. She's like, no, I did. Like, I wanted it, I wanted it too. And I was like, okay, well, we'll see you later. I just didn't know how to communicate.
Why did you bring it up?
I don't know. I didn't,
what was
I didn't
the
have
end
to.
game?
She could have walked out the door.
Right.
It's just like
it would have been fine without it, regardless if you wanted to continue it or not. But like you made it a point to bring it up, not because you thought it was awkward that you did it. You're like calling your own bluff on why you didn't do it the second time, as if explaining that was going to make anything less awkward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was terrible.
I just want to let you know. You know how I made out with you the other night? As you can see, this evening I chose not to. Instead of going further, we actually reverted back. You might be asking yourself why. She's like, well, no, it's okay with me too. But it's not okay with me. Yes. Looking back on it, I don't want to make out with you again. Well, I'll see you later. God. Have a great night. I don't even know. Does that...
Adios, turd nuggets.
I don't know if that makes you like an asshole or if it just like dude, that poor girl had to have left and gone, what just happened?
What the fuck just happened?
Right. It's not like rude to her.
I made out with him.
But it's like...
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like she leaves going, so wait, are we hanging out again? Wait, did this advance, revert, end? Yeah. What happened here? Like, That's not even a move. You like, yeah, I don't even know what that is. That's never happened in dating.
Yeah.
You made that up. You made up the new course of action. You took it in a trajectory that we didn't realize. You harnessed the fourth dimension of dating.
I often, just make decisions, and then like halfway through, I'm like, I wish I didn't. I don't want to be doing this anymore.
That's the worst is
Yeah.
when you're in the middle and you have the realization. It's one thing to have a realization after.
Yeah.
But in the middle when you're like, I want to stop being what I'm being right now, but I can't. I have to finish whatever this is, but I don't know how to finish it painlessly. And then you say like the next sentence and you go, not that.
Yeah.
That's not it. And then you go a little bit further. You're like, still no.
I did have.
Man.
Just adding on. That reminded me of it was a one night stand I had once.
Sure.
It was like a group of friends. I met like kind of like a third party on another group of friends, and we just went outside. We started making out. She's like, "Hey, do you want to go to my place?" And so I basically bailed on the hang. We walked to her place in an apartment, and then whatever going on. And then like halfway through, I was like, I don't want to. I wish I didn't come here. Now I was just thinking about how do I get home. I was just like, I don't want it. And like after. It's like 2 a.m, and I was like, I'm gonna go. I gotta go, and I just left, and I couldn't I could barely find my way out. It was like just the third floor of an apartment that was very confusing, much like the pool story of recent times. But I got my way out, and then I was like, oh no, I left my favorite jacket. I was like, I forgot it. I was like, I left my.
What I don't.
I could have just stayed.
But we're. The problem is I'm supposed to be focusing on your story.
Yeah.
On like the concept of what happened, but you go, but I'm on like a third floor apartment. I don't know how to get
the
out.
The details matter.
but right, but like
that's what I was thinking about. I didn't even matter that.
Like, but what makes you literally said it in a manner that like, all right, audience, Strange Fam, you know how third floor apartments can be. I mean, how do you even get out of them? What is so hard about leaving an apartment?
Like it was
this again back to like Charlie and Chocolate Factory? There's like secret rooms.
Well, it's like you walk outside, all the doors face the outside, but they're completely covered by like rails, and like so you can't. There's like one set of stairs in the whole place, so you got to find it. It's like there's not like every corner has a set of stairs or something like that. It's like one, then it's actually in the middle, so you have to like walk around and find it. It's just like, so I want to get home. I'm pretty sure I walked home too, and it took like an hour to walk home because I don't know, I just wasn't real happy with myself, and I thought I would be, and then I was bummed because I left my jacket. I knew I was going to be gone forever because I didn't want to go back up.
Right. I knew it'd be gone forever.
I'm the guy from like 15 minutes ago. Yeah. It's like, I should have just stayed over. I mean, made a whole thing out of it, experience something. But I was just like, it was kind of a bummer.
But like, why do you want to like try to be courteous leaving? Like if you're in a spot and you're realizing you're bailing and you're bailing permanently, like in this situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about there's no aftermath. It's not like a friend. It's not a person you've been dating for a while or anything like that, right? You're piecing out on a one and done.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you do something like hilarious, like to make it less awkward for yourself? Do something funny so that if nothing else, you can leave and go like, that was hilarious. Like be like, I have to go. I literally have a rocket ship waiting for me like 15 minutes away. I need to get out of here. I'm going to outer space tomorrow. Like, and just do like the stupid Barney Stinson shit and just be like, I know I said I'd stay, but I have my schedule mixed up. Like I have to leave. And then like walk out backwards and you go, if I walk out backwards, the ghosts can't get me. And then like leave like that. Like just make a bunch of weird things. And so that if nothing else, you get to laugh and she gets to go, boy, glad I didn't spend any more time with that guy. So you do her a favor.
I like that. Or you could.
I just took an upper decker.
Little MacGruber style. Take a little upper decker. Like leave them with a memory. Tell them their place is haunted. I like that. Hey, I got to get out of here. The energy's
there
bad.
You go.
You must feel this, right? Do you feel that? Like is a bit of a chill? No, it's not. It's not sparks. No, it's not. It's ghosts. No. Yeah.
No, you don't do that because you want them to think that you can feel it, not them. Be like, I didn't mention it when I first got here, but like clearly there has been some bad things that have happened here, right?
Yeah.
Like, did they disclose that to you when you rented the apartment, like the murders?
Mm-hmm.
Because there has been a ghost over in that corner talking to me for like the last 20 minutes and then just keep
Yeah. It's
elaborating
like,
on it.
how long has your roommate been home? It's like, I don't have a roommate. It's like, well, who's on the couch?
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Somebody on the couch. Yeah. Yeah, one of those. Ooh, I like
Yeah.
that. Maybe I should get back into the one and done
Like,
game.
yeah.
Really explore some territory I haven't had before.
You're right. That's not your roommate. They're telling me their name is Snorlax, and they come from the planet Vortok.
Yes.
Okay, well, clearly not your roommate.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, I got to get out of here. He's breathing fire.
Two? Is this?
Yeah.
Am I?
Whoa!
Wait,
Didn't mean to walk in on
am I
something.
home wrecking here? Yeah, space wrecking.
Yeah, and then be like, this isn't my type of thing. I am so sorry. I did not mean to. See, a lot of places you could go, but you went with, I gotta go.
Yeah, I can't.
Take my.
I don't know how to do this. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, lady. I gotta go. That's good.
Thanks.
Oh, that's good.
Thanks for the moisture. Hang. Oh God. Oh God.
Yeah, so that went well. I mean, at least if you are going to be dating someone in Auburn, you're probably not the weird one. So that's good.
How could that be true? I mean, hey, we all bring our own dish to the party, but
that's not a term. Stop making up terms. We all bring a separate dish to the food day, to the potpourri, to the potluck.
Yeah.
Like Jeff's.
And mine barely has any hair in it.
Scrambled eggs that I brought to a potluck. I brought scrambled eggs to a potluck. We didn't talk about this.
You didn't? We talked about potlucks, and you didn't talk about scrambled eggs?
No. It was a fraternity potluck. So as you can imagine, a bunch of poor college kids that don't know shit about
scrambled eggs, mac and cheese.
Putting a potluck together is a horrible idea. So I made like 3 dozen scrambled eggs in a crock pot. Well, I made them and then put them in a crock pot. So hold on. I brought them to the potluck.
Seasoning, cheeses.
There was not a lot of shakers.
Yeah.
So,
what were the other dishes at the potluck? Like, was it dinner food?
Yeah, I mean, it was not breakfast themed. I just made scrambled eggs because that was cost effective and I could make a lot. But who doesn't like breakfast for dinner? So scrambled eggs can be served all the time.
Guilty of the same. Done it.
Yeah.
Your turn to make dinner, breakfast or dinner. Is it a cop out? Yeah, but it's delicious.
Yeah. I think I've probably had pancakes for dinner more than I've had pancakes for breakfast because I'm too lazy to make pancakes for breakfast.
I know. Who has the time? So
breakfast for dinner actually is more elaborate dinner or more elaborate breakfast than my breakfast. But anyway, so I make the eggs. They didn't go over that well. They weren't hated, but they didn't go over that well. And so the crock pot, I don't remember why, but I left it on the porch. And I'll get it tomorrow. And I never got it. Tomorrow never came. So at my apartment in college, there was a crock pot of eggs that just sat out for weeks and weeks. And it started to smell really bad.
Oh.
Yeah. And I don't know why it happened, but there's going to be a lot of listeners that understand the crock pot of eggs and know it's an adventure. It just stood in this brown. It wasn't even my crock pot. I don't even know whose crock pot that was. Some of my roommates, but no one ever used it. So it was just a crock pot with eggs in it that just sat on our porch for like weeks, maybe months.
Good God, that's going too far.
I can't believe it never got eaten by like wildlife.
So you ruined eggs and somebody's crock pot.
That's correct. Well, I mean, did you ruin a crock pot? No, I ruined the eggs. The eggs, rest in peace. But you can clean a crock pot. But that stuff was pretty gross. But I'm sure one of the neighborhood cats or a raccoon would have liked it. I probably should have just fed it to something.
Speaking of raccoon, an actual segue into our 3 words.
Oh my God. Yeah.
The ooze. We got the ooze from Andy. Pool, book, raccoon. Pool, book, raccoon.
Boy, so that's my choice for raccoon.
Yeah.
Pool book raccoon.
I've had a lot. I mean, having a pool or access to a pool is always great. I know in Texas, um, some friends, my good friends and I, like we at least for a few years had a tradition of New Year's Day doing a little polar plunge, which in Texas isn't necessarily that bad.
It's not
But there
really
was a
that
couple.
polary.
There was a couple freezing days. Like we had a great New Year's Eve party several years back, and we had a community pool there. It's like an HOA type of deal. But it started snowing at midnight, right at midnight. It almost never does that. Made snowballs, had a good time about it. In the morning, we went into the pool, and it was snowy, icy pool, and it was awesome. I think it's one of the
They
the
kept
greatest,
the
best
pool
feelings.
open.
Well, you just had to use your key to yeah. It's like golf courses are always open, like pools are kind of always open. It's just like it never really gets shut down for the season. I mean, people don't really use it, and I wouldn't say it probably didn't have like its seasonal shock treatment or whatever, but it never goes that far out of being usable. But yeah, popped in, and it just feels so good to like jump in because for a good second, a whole second, you feel like you're gonna die, and I love it. I don't know if you've done a polar plunge before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
in a lake pool.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't organized. It was for a night of drinking.
Oh
In
yeah,
a lake.
yeah. Nice. But it's great. It's a great refresh. Like touches all the nerves, all the senses. I love it. Like, I mean to do it again, and I would hate it. I would like. It's kind of like going on like a gnarly roller coaster where it's like I don't want to do it, but I know I'll be glad that I did it once I get out because I'll feel something. Finally, for the love of God, let me fucking feel something. Yeah.
Please just let me feel something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all in good. There's your life-changing moment, right?
Yeah.
You finally feel something jumping into the cold. Yeah, I mean, I like pools, but I don't know how much I like them. Like my family's never had a pool. My grandmother had a pool, and then there's like the difference between above ground pools and in ground pools, and everyone always wants a pool, but I don't know. Do I give a crap about pools? I don't know. Like it's a weird dynamic. I'm not a good swimmer. I can swim, but I'm not a good swimmer.
I think it's better if you
I
know
won't
somebody with a
die.
pool, like going to somebody's house
Yeah,
for a
I
pool.
think that's it.
You don't have to pay for it or
Yeah.
maintain it, any of that. Or a good apartment pool if you're okay with a little bit of wine and urine kind of in there. It's either got to be over chlorinated or if it's not, it's just filled with booze piss. But it's fun. Apartment pools have their place. Like going there on a Sunday, play a little slap the baby. You know that game? Get a little bag of wine, slap it, pass it to the next person. You know,
That's
good
so
times.
gross.
Yeah.
I've done that once. I've slapped the bag once, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, this is terrible.
Oh yeah, slap the bag. I said baby, but you get it.
Yeah, you said slap the baby. I've never heard that. That just sounds abusive.
It is.
I'm not sure why the bag of wine is a baby, but
No.
unless you're the doctor slapping the baby like that, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that, however, something I do enjoy that I'm not good at is pool, as in billiards. I have gone to like pool halls and stuff to hang out before, and it's never something I'm looking to do. But if someone like recommends that's what we do for something to do, I'm all in. Like I like playing pool at the bar. I'll play against friends. I'll play against strangers. Again, I like to have fun, and I'm not good. So if nothing else, I like to entertain. So I'll play strangers and make jokes and stuff like that. And they're like, "Hey, this guy's pretty fun. I'll buy you a beer." And I'm like, "I'll let you buy me a beer. Thank you."
Yeah. Don't put it on the felt.
I don't like. Yeah, don't put it on the felt. Don't be that guy. But yeah, do you ever play? Did you ever go to the bar and play pool?
Sure, love a good bar pool session. I don't think I've ever. I mean, like a few games for sure, and it's, dude, every like 90% of pool tables at bars are just in the wrong spot. Like one side, you can't even like use your pool cue.
That's correct.
Like one of the
No
quarter
bar is big
slots
enough
doesn't
to have
work.
a pool
Yeah,
table.
I love
Like,
it. Yeah. So that's why it's fun. It's like nobody's really serious about it until somebody is. Somebody's got to be like, hey, where's the bridge? Do you know where the bridge is? And it's like, dude, just
and you're like,
fucking one hand
stop
it. Just
it.
one hand it. Sorry, it'll be all right.
It's true. At a bar, there
Yeah.
shouldn't even be
Yeah.
a bridge. Like, knock it off. You are already going way too out. Yeah, that's not.
So
okay.
we got winners. You can play right now. I don't even. We can have the table.
It's certainly a place where, like, if you're really good at it, I think there's an imbalance of like half the people are going to be like, oh, that's pretty cool, and the other half are going to be like, hate you for it. So it's like, do you admit that you're good at pool, or do you even try to play like a little kind of half-assed because you're at the bar and that's the environment you're doing? When people challenge strangers for money, I'm like, I'll sit and watch because I'm like, I hope this turns into a fight. I'm like, and there's a great chance it does.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and there's no good that can come of this. But I love meeting strangers and betting on games in a bar. Like, what a great idea. Let's add alcohol to people who don't know each other and try to get very, very masculine and like establish dominance. I'm like, I'm here for it. Like, as a side viewer, I am here for it. Like, I have seen fights at bars, and man, if you're not a part of it and you don't know anyone in the fight, what a good time. What a good time to see it escalate. Actually, I think I like the escalation more than the fight.
Going from 0 to 100 and like just seeing the spread, the surface area. It's like kind of looking at a map and seeing like a virus spread, like that graphic or that just like.
Well, do you recall
UFC 99 at Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yeah.
Back in the day, yeah. Like just tables out of nowhere, just like tables.
Buffalo Wild Wings just exploded.
Yeah.
It's with just bodies and glass, and probably the reason it got shut down. But I mean, I would say I'm as good of a pool player as I am at swimming in a pool. Like, I can do it. I know all the rules. I know how to stay afloat, but I'm not going to impress anyone with what I'm doing. So I'm about the same, as good of a billiards player as I am a swimmer.
Cool. Just same way, just going to knock a couple of balls into the pockets, I'm
going to have like a good shot in the night, and I'm hoping people see it. And they're like, wow, that guy did really good. I'm like, you can go away now. I'm like, because it's only going to get way worse from here. So, like, yeah.
It's the bell curve. I mean, it's just like every other bar game. You just have the bell curve. You get a couple drinks in, all of a sudden you're nasty, and then you get a couple more in, and you're like, just talking, not even actually playing. Just rolling the cue stick on
Whose turn is it?
Whose
turn is it? The game ended 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a raccoon story?
I wish I did. I can't think of one. I mean, there's a lot of raccoons. I mean, especially in Texas, pretty not afraid of anything. A lot of possums. I can tell you this, maybe just segue from raccoons to possums is, do you know how possums defend themselves from cars that are coming? What they do?
They act like they're dead.
Well, they do that. But they also like stand up and try to be big. They try to be big and scare the car. They do that.
Do they really?
A lot of dead possums on the road in Texas. Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't work out for them.
Is it okay to call them possums? Aren't they opossums?
I think there's different. I don't know. I think I know that. I'm talking about like the really ugly ones, the real ugly ones that have the snaggle teeth.
As opposed to whom?
I don't know. I guess we're talking about the same thing. What is an opossum versus a possum? But you can see them like walking with their little babies on their back. We had some in our backyard in the last spot I lived in Texas. They just walk on the fence.
Oh, so as with many things, they are called opossums, but we basically just decided to be lazy enough to that make possum acceptable.
Sounds like a Texas thing. That's how they make their words down there. That's how we use them. We cut off a syllable or a vowel in every word, basically. So instead of like Guadalupe, wherever we say the Guadalupe, instead of Menchaca, the street say Manchac.
How often do you have to say Guadalupe in Texas?
Guadalupe. You got to talk about the river, the road, the woman I hardly knew. Guadalupe.
Sorry, Guadalupe is the best abbreviation you can get for a Guadalupe. Yeah. Why don't you call it Guad?
Sorry, Guadalupe. It's time for me to be moseying on out of here. You keep that jacket.
I would call
And those
a woman
ghosts.
named Guadalupe. I would call her Loopy.
Lupe.
That'd be a good nickname. That's a good Loopy.
Lupe. Loopy. Yeah.
Loopy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
white it up.
You Loopy.
Hey,
Loopy.
Loopy.
Yeah, Loopy.
Yeah, that's a good nickname. That's good. People would like that.
Yeah. I met
Book,
this
I don't
really
read,
nice
so that's on
girl
you.
that works at Chipotle. Her name's Loopy.
Oh God.
Oh, books. Yeah,
I did have a
books.
raccoon show up. I was camping in New York at Letchworth State Park, and I'd never really interacted with raccoons, but we were playing some beer pong at night at our campsite, and just hear something, and raccoons like 5 feet away, just hanging out, trying to eat our trash at the cooler, and like that raccoon did not care that we were around. Like, he didn't attack us, but he was just like, I'm going to go about my business. I didn't realize raccoons in the wilderness in a state park would be so chill, as far as like, he's not aggressive. He just doesn't care that we're there. It's always weird when animals don't care that humans are around. I also had a squirrel steal brownies
Really?
from that same camping trip. Or no, different camping trip. Same, both Letchworth State Park though. Yeah. I turned around and saw a squirrel that had gotten into the saran wrap and was noshing on some brownies. Not like special brownies, just fudgy brownies. They opened up the saran wrap and the squirrel was standing in the Tupperware eating brownies. I'm like, good for you.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Do you even have do you have a favorite animal? Is that something we have in our adult lives? Do we consider?
A favorite animal?
Or do you even have an answer for it? Have you been asked this question since 5th grade?
No, I don't think so. And you know what? Why? When are you supposed to grow out of having a favorite animal?
I feel like the color one still comes out there a little bit. We're always curious about who somebody's favorite band is, what it says about them. But what about animal?
I still wish people would ask me more often, what do I want to be when I grow up?
Yeah. Like, you got to be something already. You know what I want to be? I want to be my favorite animal, a bear. I want to have a treehouse. I want to sleep during the winter. I want to have knives for hands. I want to be a big old fatty with a bunch of back hair that nobody can say is wrong. Yeah. Just the perfect animal.
Yeah. That's a
perfect
really
job.
weird superhero.
Yeah.
Really weird superhero.
Yeah.
Oh no, where's Bear Man? He's asleep. He's not going to be up for another couple months, so hope your emergency can wait.
Yeah.
That'd be
It's
an
weird.
inconvenient superhero.
You know, well, we did just have such conviction of it. I mean, it was like a lion. It's like, why? I don't know. It just is. Just fucking love a lion, a shark. I like a
Did kids
brontosaurus.
pick
A
lions?
brontosaurus is my favorite dinosaur, and you can't tell me otherwise. It's my favorite.
That's always an interesting. Yeah, why did we have favorite dinosaurs? So like,
You had to.
that was absolutely a thing. You have to pick your favorite animal of a species that hasn't existed for millions of years. But what is your favorite?
You have to pick between
Like,
three.
wow,
It has to
that's
be a
really tough
T-Rex,
question.
a rhinoceros, or what is it? A rhinoceros. Fucking.
Oh my God,
rhino,
Triceratops?
Triceratops, yes.
Triceratops and
Yes.
Stegosaurus.
Yeah, you get one of the three. That's it. Or the long neck. Yeah.
I always thought I was kind of a badass because people would be like, "Oh, Brontosaurus," and I'm like, actually, no. I want a Brachiosaurus. It's bigger.
A longer
And
neck.
you're an idiot.
It's actually an
Yeah.
Apatosaurus. I know 5 dinosaurs. And then Jurassic Park came and rocked everybody's world with the raptor.
Yep.
You don't remember, before Jurassic
Velociraptor.
Park, the Velociraptor was not in the game for favorite dinosaur. It wasn't even part of it.
No. Mm-mm.
But yeah, the last 30 years have been all about the Velociraptor.
Heavily dominated by the Velociraptor. Now,
Clever girl.
did you ever see the I don't know what, the after school special, but I was on VHS too. It was called Dinosaurs, aptly named, with an exclamation point. And there was a boy that it kind of started around. It was a claymation thing called Dinosaurs, but there was a idea that it was a kid writing his essay for school. And he's like, what do I want to write about? What do I want to write about? And he goes, dinosaurs, of course. And he got the epiphany because he looked around his room and everything in his room was fucking dinosaurs. But he sat there for a good 10 seconds going like, what am I going to write about? Doing the kid thing of, I think it actually starts with him crumpled up pieces of paper being like thrown at like a dinosaur themed trash can. It's remember how kids used to write on
Trash
a
can
legal
basketball
pad
hoop.
and then crumple up their paper and throw it.
Yeah.
So he goes, what am I going to write about? And he looks around his room and only sees dinosaurs because that's all this kid knows. He goes, I'm going to write about dinosaurs. And you know who that child actor was?
Who?
A young Fred Savage. Fred Savage was in this thing called Dinosaurs, and it was the greatest show ever. I don't want to say, like, I don't want to get too excited.
That is one big pile of shit.
Exactly, Dr. Ian Malcolm.
So you mean Boy Meets World, kid?
This is the
Dinosaurs.
VHS cassette,
dude. Yep. I can barely see it, but I know those VHSs with like the grids, the neon grids.
It says a fun-filled trip back in time, discover the real monsters who dominated the Earth for millions of years. So Dinosaurs is from 1987, but dude, there was songs in it. Dude, it's rated 7.6 on IMDb. So out of 274 ratings. So this is pretty important, but it had a song that rips and it helped me learn about dinosaurs. And it's a very educational but entertaining video. And everyone who's out there, I was
probably too busy,
should see it.
I think I was busy watching too many animated Bible stories and like McGee and Me and a lot of like stuff that you could get at like the Christian store. A lot of like, well, what would God do? He'd probably dance about it. You know, let's be friends. Hey, you know what? Maybe we should be friends with a kid in a wheelchair. Huh? It's like, yeah, what? Like, why not? Wait, was I not supposed to be doing that? I don't understand. Like the 80s, the stakes for 80s were like so low. It's like, you know what? If somebody's different than you, you can hang out with them. You can talk to them. It's like, yeah, what? It's pretty basic.
Wow.
Yeah.
We learned that handicapped people are people.
Yeah.
And you're like, geez. A little presumptuous that these kids are growing up pieces of trash. You know what I love about loving obscure stuff from the 80s and 90s is that even the people who may own the copyright, they don't care about infringement. And so like this stuff, like the dinosaurs thing is on YouTube. The whole thing is on YouTube in one sitting because you want to know what? The makers probably put it on there themselves and are like, we just need to share this treasure with the world. I mean,
yeah, those productions.
So if you're looking for it, Dinosaurs, A Fun-Filled Trip Back in Time is available on YouTube. It was put on there in 2012 and it's amazing.
What is it? So Dinosaurs.
And it has Dinosaurs, exclamation, A Fun-Filled Trip Back in Time. And there's a song in it called Mesozoic Mind that might be the greatest song in the history of educational films. It beats out anything Schoolhouse Rock put out. I'll say it.
Let's do a little sample. We won't get copyrighted on this. We can't. We can't possibly. Dinosaurs, A Fun-Filled Trip into Time. Here, I got it pulled up here. Golden Book video. Book.
I'm gonna fuck science.
That's Fred.
Yeah. Dude, look at that stereo.
Oh, this is the jam.
Is it? Is this it?
We're fading in.
Dude, this dinosaur, does he have a guitar?
What appears to be a dinosaur.
Does dinosaur have a guitar?
Maybe.
Oh, dude. Dinosaurs do metal. Ooh, a little synth wave.
Last night I had a crazy dream. I fell out of my bed. I missed the floor entirely and fell through time instead.
Oh, what a premise.
Yesterday,
I fell off the bed and went through time.
Unrecorded time. 100 million years flew by.
Here comes the chorus.
What? That's it? The chorus is just backup singers.
Yep.
Everything had
All right.
changed.
It's so good. Yeah, that's a taste. That's a
Dude,
taste.
what an era!
Strange
What an
fam.
era! It is fun to check out like old VHS recording shit like that. Let's wrap up. Well, book. We didn't really do books. I mentioned Half Price Books. Work there. I always have like a little bit of a book collection. Just something pretentious enough. I think we mentioned that before. But I did like. I like the culture of working in the bookstore because it was cool people. It kind of had that high fidelity, like album, like that the album store. It was really fun. I do miss that. Like, because it sort of was a company and it sort of wasn't. It was like a real company. It was like the largest independent bookstore chain in the country, but it's sort of like half-assed in terms of like company policies and stuff. And we kind of could like call customers shitheads and stuff and tell them to get the fuck out of here. It was like one of those spots, where like you couldn't really write corporate because they wouldn't really wouldn't really care. But everybody was like really interesting. Like whether people were into games, a lot of people were into like movies. So everybody had their own niche thing that they were into. Like I was into gaming. And it like, I honestly like never really, I don't think I remember people like getting fights or anything. It was just like, we'd sit around, we'd buy books, and then we'd all sit around computers, like looking at each other when we were like pricing stuff and getting it ready for the shelf and just talking shit, talking pop culture, talking about tacos. It was great. We did not get paid very well. So what it made up or what it lacked in money it made up for in just like really cool people, conversations, just t-shirt and jeans work. You just had to have like your lanyard on kind of deal. But I liked it a lot. It was a cool vibe. So I would want to, I could see going back to it if I didn't like having money, and stuff.
I know, man. Like I'd still like to get like I think to like restore my faith in like in employment in general. I think I need like a part-time job that I really, really, really love. Like even if it's like 5 hours a week, like I think I feel like having that second job is like important. It's almost like, how do I have a hobby that'll pay me instead of paying for a hobby? Like I keep thinking of that. I'm like, go get a second job where you have to work minimal amount of hours and it's something you absolutely enjoy doing. Like I'm not going to be able to do that with a career. Like your career is always going to require things of you that you don't want to do. It's fine. But I feel like there is a part-time job out there. Like that's why I've wanted, what I'd like to do in Strange Fam, let me know if you have any connections in South Jersey, is I'd love to pour beers for people at a brewery.
Yes. Nighttime bartender.
I want to be a bartender that doesn't make
like
mixed drinks. Yeah, I don't want to mix drinks. I don't want to I don't want to do that. I don't want to deal with trendy bullshit. But I do want people to be excited to come in and have a beer at the brewery and find out the new beer that's on tap. And I get to give them a little 10-second rundown of what the new beer is. And it's like, oh, you want a taste? Because breweries love doing that. They're like, hey, just have a taste. Oh, you're not sure if you'll like it? Here, have a taste of it. You don't need to buy one. So like the brewery atmosphere is so laid back. I love that breweries carry like board games and stuff because they're like, oh, you're bored? Just come here and have a beer and hang out. It's like the Starbucks feel of like, come in and hang out. I don't care. You got to do some work. Sure. Do some work here. Like, I like that concept, but the bartender at a brewery is something I'd really love to do. And breweries, if they only just knew, because I feel like those jobs mostly go to friends of the owners and stuff like that. And it's like, all right, but if you got to know
somebody there for sure.
Yeah. If you had someone with personality, you might be surprised as to, you can make some more money. So
it'd be great to like,
I don't know.
I'd love to like work in an ice rink during public skating, just go out there and be the guy that's like, hey, just go this direction. Or hey, don't push each other. You just skating the whole time. Like it's just one of those. Or work on a putting green. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Just hobbies, just doing things that you want to do.
Right.
I mean, bookstore was great. I mean, if I could just like literally just sit there in that experience of just like putting prices on books, but not dealing with the customers, just like that kind of thing, like backroom action with people you like, just busy work. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. That's why if the physical media world ever comes back, if Blockbuster ever comes back, I'm going to get a part-time job at a Blockbuster. I will.
Dude, that'd be fun.
I wish there was an equivalent of that.
I want to tell you that we were talking about the lottery, one of the last episodes, and I'm about to come into some money. I just gotta let you know, and I want to share it on this podcast because I have with me a set for life lottery ticket, a scratch off. So win
Wow.
$5,000 a week for life, and I bring it here because I've already scratched off the numbers, and I'm a winner. I just don't know how much.
But you haven't. You didn't scratch
No,
off
this is
the
my.
amount.
I don't. I always scratch off the numbers to see because I don't want to get bummed out and be like,
So what?
well, as soon as you scratch off the amount and you see life or like win for life, it's like, oh, I'm not going to get that match that number. It's like obviously. So in this one, I've actually matched 3 numbers: the 19, the 20, and the 27. So we have 3 chances here, and I want to do it.
Wow.
On the pod.
Wow.
If I do win the $5,000 a week for life, I will probably go silent and end this podcast immediately. And I will never. I'm going to say it like $5 for life, $5 for life. But I figure if you match 3 prizes, I doubt one of them is the grand prize. But those are the stakes.
I wish the New York State Lottery for that card. I wish what it was that they're like the only thing you win is different things for life. Like imagine that card. Like they're like you win 5 cents a week for life. Like that's one of them.
Taxed.
Like they now it's paid in and it's paid annually.
I'll take the lump
every
sum.
year.
Yeah.
The state of New York sends you a check for $2.60 minus taxes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like you want a nickel for life. Oh my God.
Yep.
That'd be
here
pretty
we go.
fun. All right, man.
ASMR scratching. Oh
yeah, I can get that. Yeah.
I'm just scratching off the barcode.
What's our first prize?
All right, we'll start with 19. Here we go. 19 scratching. $20, dude.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Dude, are we retiring tonight? Are we taking this pod viral?
2 more numbers to go.
Dude, what? I'm shocked. I feel shocked.
How? I am.
We'll go with the 27.
Okay.
$10, $30 richer. Look out! I might join another fantasy football league.
Wait, that was 10.
So now we're total at 30. Yeah,
total 30.
Mm-hmm. I got one more
the
here.
20 is not going to be 20. That's going to be 100.
It's got to be at least 20.
No, well, it's
another 20.
10.
$50.
$50.
Give
me a hell yeah!
Woo!
Wow.
So I spent $20 on lottery tickets today, and now I got 50. So guess who's calling into work tomorrow? Suck it. Eat shit.
Or at least
work.
calling in late.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see, $50.
I'm an adult.
So
I'm coming in 20 minutes late.
I come in, 2 hours late or something. Yeah.
Sweet.
And I'm gonna cash it all out, sucker. See you later, New York State. You got boned
I dare
on
you
this
to,
deal.
Can you? Straight faced. Now, are you going to cash in at work?
I could.
Are you cashing in at work, or are you going to go elsewhere? I want you to go up straight faced to cash it with someone and be like, after a lot of thought, I am going to take payments, and then just fucking stare at them.
I'm going to take.
And just see what they say.
Well, see, people at work would sort of know that I'm fucking with them. I think
that's what I'm saying. But so then don't do it at work.
Yeah. I'd like to pay. Like I should drive to Albany to the lottery commission and ask for the payments. Yeah. I heard it's worth.
Can you mail them in even if you don't need to? They always say you need to mail them in or take them somewhere. Can you just opt to do that even if you don't have to? I don't care that it's under 600.
I could fill it in and send it to P.O. Box 7533 in Schenectady, New York.
Can you ask Schenectady if they'll have a presentation with a comically
I'd
large
like a large check. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's have some dreams.
Happy
here.
Gilmore it.
Yeah.
Well,
all right,
congratulations on your newfound wealth.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah. I
no
don't know what to say. I'm kind of embarrassed. That I've never been someone like with means, you know, and now it's like, what do I do?
Right. I can't believe
like
everyone gets to enjoy this on the podcast with you.
Yeah.
Like, that's so surprising.
Like,
wow.
and I know what's going to happen. I know what happens. Life
You're
changes.
so brave.
Yeah. People are going to start asking me, and it's like,
yeah,
listen, I'll hear out business ideas. I'm less on the personal side. Like if you need something like for your brother or something like that, people are asking, or like, hey, my grandma's sick. I don't know if I'm your guy for that. Pitch it to me. Write it in the comments. You guys like it?
My kid is
stupid. Smash the comments with who you want help financially with.
Dude,
you know?
Too soon.
First 7 commenters get $17.
Too soon to use the word smash.
Oh boy, today's the day. R.I.P.
Steve Hartwell. Steve Hartwell, lead singer of Smash.
You were an
Smash Mouth. I mean, my goodness, if there is one of the I'll say it, one of the top 10 covers of all time, and I love a good cover. You know this. Smash Mouth doing "I'm a Believer" by the Monkees. It's just a great cover
from Shrek,
and we associate it with Shrek, and it's a fantastic cover, and I won't hear otherwise. So, the songbird of a generation, he is now truly an all-star. Steve Hartwell, R.I.P.
He did die of essentially having a dead liver from drinking too much, which is fun because like lately I've been thinking about is, you know what, I'm a little over 4.5 months of no drinking, and lately, you know what, maybe I'll get back into it, and then something like this happens, and like, yeah, I can go longer. Like I could keep going. I could keep going.
Steve Hartwell just bought me at least till Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep this train moving. Yeah. Let's do our words. Let's use our words.
Like adults.
Random word generator for the win, and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Project. Referral. Impulse.
How can
impulse
referral even be?
Referral. Project. Yeah. So they always throw in 1. That's definitely a no. That's definitely going to be used in a later episode when we just have to compile some words again.
Well, we're going to avoid one of those.
Yeah.
Now it's not going to be a referral. I'm determined now. What a day indeed. I'm in the midst of a run of fantasy drafts. This was my 4th draft that I've done, and I have 2 more the next 2 nights. So I have 6 drafts that I have to do.
Where does he find the time? You know what? In the middle of one of your drafts,
there's always room for fantasy drafts.
I recommend in the middle of one of your drafts this week, just get up and just say, "Hey, I got to get out of here. I'm sorry. I don't want to be here."